Okay, so I'm back. I told you before, and I'm going to try to make sense of all this because it's not scripted. I hope it seems very organic because it is. I'm just giving it to you like it comes. In 1987 is really when I experienced my first symptom. And then in October of 1988, a year later, was when I got the diagnosis. So it is, or it will be as of next month, 28 years that I've been living with this disease. It's been a crazy, crazy, crazy journey that I have been on, and there have been a lot of downs and a lot of ups, and I have been very blessed with the support that I have gotten over the years, and I truly believe that that is what has kept me healthy. And like I said, I've tried so many different types of therapies and drugs and all different things, and what really stemmed this for me was that I felt like I hit a rock bottom and my usual ways of getting out weren't helping. And so I got scared and I didn't know why I wasn't coming out and I wasn't going back to my norm. And I hate that phrase, the new norm. This is your new norm. And who are doctors to say that? I'm going to prove them all wrong anyway. So when I was at the doctor's, and I would go to so many different doctors to see what they had to say and to get their advice and opinions, and holistic, Eastern, Western, and I was in San Francisco at the University of San Francisco, and I hadn't had an MRI in probably 6 years, and they did the MRI, and he looked at me, and then he got the results of the MRI, and he wanted me to try this new chemotherapy drug. And I thought, chemotherapy drug? No. And he said, yeah, but I hate to say the P word, which is progressing, and I don't want you to lose anything. And I said, no, you're misunderstanding this. You got it all wrong. I need to get it back. And so I'm focusing on getting everything back, and he's focusing on me not losing any more. And I thought, oh my gosh, my hole that I was in just got 50 feet deeper. And so when I came back to Los Angeles, I spoke with my doctors here, and one of them suggested the same thing, that I go on this chemotherapy drug. And then another one suggested that I take another MRI here. And so I did another MRI, and I'll never forget, I was looking at the results of the MRI with one of the neurologists, and I was looking at it and I'm like, oh, is it those they were teeny black spots. I'm like, is that what I need to worry about? And everything else was white. Everything. This was an MRI of my brain. And she goes, well, actually, okay, two teeny black spots, and then everything white. And she said, well, actually, you want everything to be black. You don't want white. And I thought, oh my gosh. And I know I had in the past been told that I have an MRI of an 80-year-old. I think I was in my 20s when some doctor said that to me. And I ignored him completely. And now I'm seeing it. I see that my brain is all white and not black. And so I went home and I cried for a long time. And then I got the results back from this recent MRI, and I saw the radiologist, and he said, Melissa, you had no progression, and you had some of your spots went away. And I said, really? And then all of a sudden I don't have to do this chemotherapy drug, which I don't think I was going to do. And they said, you're stable. And I said, I'm stable, but yet I'm not feeling so great, but I'm stable, according to the MRI. And they said that was because they have to find a reason why one showed this and another showed this, as opposed to me just healing myself through mindfulness and well-being and exercise and diet and all that stuff, right? Because that stuff is all hocus pocus to them. There's no research behind it. And then one of the neurologists said to me, it's because at UCSF, the MRI is a stronger MRI. So it's not fair to compare it to that MRI. Even though all those plaques and stuff are there, they're just deeper down so I can't see them. But based on my MRI from 6 years ago to now, which were done on the same scan, there was no disease progression. So they threw out the chemotherapy, or that was not something I needed at this moment. And now they want estriol. I was on the estriol once before, and they want the estriol. I'm already on Copaxone. I don't even know if I should be saying the drugs out loud, but this is real life. So I'm already on one of them, but I'm no longer a Copaxone failure. And so I'm status quo right now because my other neurologist, my main neurologist, who I adore, said to me, Melissa, your life is a little crazy right now, which it's a lot crazy. We shouldn't change any medicines until your life calms down. So that's where I am with my medicines. That's how this whole thing started. I used to speak at a dinner every year for over 20 years. And I would tell my story, and I would say what happened to me that year, which was always something major, whether it was losing the sight in one of my eyes or another eye, or not being able to walk, or dragging my foot, or vertigo, and then how I overcame it, and what I used to overcome it. And so how I got out of that dark hole. And so since none of that stuff has been working that I used in the past, it's this video. So I hope that you see these entries or days that I have, moments that I have, whatever they're called. Not really technologically savvy. And it inspires you to do stuff. Because just like in my speeches, people would say that they were helpful or inspiring. At the end of the day, they were healing for me. So thank you. And I'm thanking myself for actually doing this now, but for listening. And I hope that maybe, I know that all of our situations are different, but facing adversity is facing adversity. And I hope that by listening and watching this, it helps you with whatever your adversity is. Because you're not alone. And that's what I always keep telling myself. I'm not alone, and I can do this. I have a lot of phrases, and I'll try to remember them so I can give them to you each time. But the ones that come to my mind and that I've used in the past are one foot in front of the other. No, I can't sing, but I try. Laughter. I use laughter, and one step at a time. So on that note, or step, I'm signing off. My feet feel a little yucky, but I've been relaxing. And I'm going to pick my kids up in carpool. Have a good one, and we'll talk soon. Bye.